When I moved to this quiet town in Jersey in the winter of '06, townsfolk really didn't know what was about to happen. They weren't really used to dealing with things on a certain level. Before my arrival, the most they dealt with was maybe, some kids with pot, underage drinking, you know, things along those lines. When I moved out here, I still had all my New York connections, so I was going to school in New York. Between classes, I was seeing my people, getting what I needed, bringing it back over here. Like, I would be going to school still. Like, I was going to high school in the Bronx, and then I went to college in Manhattan. I got a scholarship. And I would go to school during the day. And then after school, when I would come back, I would have people here that are from the area, know the people in the area. And I would supply them with various contraband. So while I was going to school, attending class, and so forth, I would have people out here that would sell what I brought back from the city. And because of my connections, I was always getting the best, quality, the best prices. That was hard for the people before me around this area to compete. So it didn't take that long before everybody and their mother was buying off of my little crew, Like every day or every other day, I would have maybe like 10 people. I would, one person gets rid of this, one person gets rid of that. I would make sure they have enough while I'm gone. We stay in touch with the phones, so I would be in school doing what I had to do. They would be over here doing what they did, making the sales. So I would just come back, collect money from them, and end up going back to the city later on in the evening. I would have a driver for me. So I didn't have a car or a license at the time. I would have someone drive me back into the city, either in Brooklyn or Queens. I would go pick up what we needed, and then this person. His father had a shop on Route 22. Now it's a vitamin shop. But before that, it was like a car restoration, like body shop. So after we come back, we'd use it 'cause he'd have the keys. So we go there at night and package everything. And this is years ago. This is like 15 years ago. And we'd be there. We have girls sometimes. We have, a few other people I trusted, and depending on what it was, whether it was green, brown, white, tablets, whatever, I'd come back with it and make sure I would always be in charge of it. And we break it down for individual sales at the shop. And then, make sure everybody get what they needed before the night was over. So for the next day, I can go to school. They'd go do whatever they were doing, if they were going to school, if they were going to work, whatever. And they make those sales. And, at the end of the day, I would go just collect the money. Later on, I had somebody collect the money for me. Later on, I had somebody with a house not too far away that we used as like the headquarters. We used this house for well, I would be in there with the top people in my crew. We'd be there gambling, playing cards, dice, whatever. We had girls come through, we'd throw some parties. And, while we were there, we had it's like a pharmacy. It was like a drive-through. We had people come up and down the street. People be running out the house, making sales, whatever. I had one guy selling, trees. One guy selling brown. One guy selling white. One guy selling pills. And then we had some exotic stuff, like stuff you couldn't normally get, like shrooms and other things. And we did that for a while. Everything was running pretty smoothly, I would even go sell myself sometimes. Like I had a thing where I would go out, if I was to meet somebody, I would go out into the woods. There was like a path in the woods where I'd go in the woods, and I was in the woods and I could see the street because the streets were lit with the lights, the street lights, so I could see you. But you couldn't see me because I'm in the woods. It was dark. So this way I could keep an eye on, if you come in, who you're with, who's with you, whatever. And I would go take care of myself, So I was doing like that for a while. Over time, there's other crews in the area running that little thing. So I made them an offer, either get down with us, with me and my thing, or, you're not going to have your own thing. There was these two brothers, they had their little connections over in Newark. That's how I was able to infiltrate Newark in the beginning. I was able to go down with them because they knew everybody. And I got to meet people down there and started, making some connections. So this way, if I couldn't go to New York, I would go to Newark, Irvington, Hillside, Jersey City, Hoboken, whatever. And just gradually over time, I had people that would position all over the place, and at least somebody in every town in the area. So I would always, at one point, 90% of what was in the area came from my organization. And I tried to run as best as I could, as honestly as I could. I made sure nobody overdose, nobody dabbled too much, Made sure everybody got what they paid for, so nobody can go back and complain. But inevitably, the people get on their own, get in trouble, get arrested, what have you. They would rat. They would start saying, "Oh, this is a guy from New York running this and that." And that's what drew the attention of the authorities, because they didn't like that. So they started, time they figured out who I was. I would be surveilled and followed. Every time I would leave the house, I'll be on my way to school. I would take the train to the city. I would have a SUV follow me. The detectives would follow me, try to, get whatever information they could. So for quite some time, I was pretty much running everything out here. I had so many stories. I had somebody decide they didn't want to work for me anymore. They wanted to go do their own thing, so they went down to Plainfield, took a package off this one guy, I guess, in that area. I don't know exactly what happened, if they smoked it all, whatever they did with it, but they came to me saying, "This guy, is going to come looking for us. We need your help." Whatever they got from the guy wasn't that great to begin with, but I did them a favor. I got rid of all their stuff in less than 24 hours. I had the money ready. We had those guys come to their house so we could pay them off, and those guys were impressed how quickly everything was gone. They tried to recruit me. I declined politely. I don't work for nobody. And then things were okay for a while, but then I got eventually ratted out. They had an investigation. They had a case on me. First time I got in trouble here, I got caught nighttime. I had some bud on me. They brought me down to the station. They brought me down to the detective's office. They laid down some papers in front of me. It was like a list of names. They're like going over this list with me, like, "Who do you know from this list?" I'm looking at this list. I recognize a good number of those names. Some of these people I would play cards with. Some of these people I just knew from business. And I'm looking at them like I don't know anybody. They knew I was lying, but they're not going to get nothing out of me, so they tried to sweat me out, threw me back in the cell.